today I want to talk to you about how I use fast graphs to analyze stocks and figure out if there are overvalued or undervalued stocks in literally about 10 seconds. And what this did was this helped me invest in Meta platforms in 2022 when it was at basically all-time lows. And what I love about fast graphs and why I've been a paying user for a lot of years is because it does what no other investing platform that I know of does. And that is, it shows you not only the price of the stock, but also the earnings growth, the value of the stock compared to its multiple or PE ratio. And for proof, here's a tweet of mine from 2022 identifying Meta as what I thought was an undervalued stock. And really quickly, in just this one snapshot of fast graphs at the time, it was very clear that Meta was trading at basically generational discount to its fair value and what it had historically traded at. I thought it was a great opportunity at the time. You can see the stock was at 120 then, and today it's at $574. And the big difference between fast graphs and using your other finance tools out there is on these tools, you can see basically just the price chart. Unfortunately, that doesn't tell you anything about how the stock has historically been valued or what the analysts and earnings expectations are, what management has outlined, what those expectations are for the future, and what that means for the growth of the stock. Additionally, I put in a search here for what the news would have looked like if you just follow the news headlines, which are kind of front and center in a lot of other investing tools, not the fundamentals of the business, which is truly what shines in fast graphs. Anyways, the news headlines at the time were just about the stock crashing. Wall Street was upset with their metaverse spending, and there was a lot of criticism for how much money they were losing hundreds of billions of dollars in market value. Advertising businesses under pressure. Meta doubles down on the metaverse despite backlash and then cost cuts. Well, again, back to this tweet, right? If I would have looked at, which I did, Meta at the time, I would have seen that in this tweet, from 2012 to essentially 2022, their free cash flow growth rate had been 35% during that whole time. Their average price free cash flow ratio was 37.55, and it was trading at a blended price to free cash flow of 20.79, which is this black line compared to its average price to free cash flow ratio over this time period. Just immediately, it was clear that there was a discount. And analysts were expecting a drop in free cash flow and then a return to growth. So if we go back to what actually happened, and you can see it all nicely on the fast graphs chart, is there was a dip and now we're back to looking at earnings, but that's fine. Free cash flow, earnings, they essentially are both important metrics for the business. But anyways, earnings dropped as well in 2022. And then you see a strong rebound in 2023, 2024, a little bit of a drop in 25. But the point is that we still have a average of 25% earnings growth over the entire period of this chart, which is pretty much in line with how earnings have grown and were expected to grow. And then the PE ratio is currently at 22.95, which historically over the life since really 2014, the average PE ratio has been 28. And back during that generational dip in the stock when everybody was scared of it, the PE dropped down to 12.15 or actually 9.66, looks like pretty much the low PE. It was just so obvious at the time how undervalued that stock was, and it has basically gone up 5 times in value since then. And all it took was looking at the history of the business, their history of execution, their history of growth, having a little bit of an understanding of what was going on and that management and analysts expected them to return to growth eventually, and just being able to focus on the business and not just the fear around the stock and the fear around the current news headlines.